Everyone as a customer leads us nowhere. Standing out begins the moment you choose who you are not for. Stand Out in 60 Seconds is a weekly conversation that we have every Wednesday at 3 o'clock on the topic how to stand out. It's not about being louder or busier, it's about being there, being recognizable in the moments that matter. And therefore, every Wednesday at 3, we have one expert coming and talking us to about various facets. Today's guest, Dr. Vijay, I met 2 years ago at a conclave. We shared a table together. One talk led to another. Every time he was in my city, Chennai, he used to pop in. We used to meet up, and I started doing the same when I went to Bombay. An entrepreneur, a marketer, a co-founder of Sao Foods, a bridge between academia and the world of entrepreneurship. That is our guest today to talk about stand out with segmentation, a pet topic that he loves talking about. Welcome, Vijay.
Thank you, Pravin. Thank you. It's such a pleasure to have an interaction with you.
Absolutely. So, the first question that I have is most people or brands don't lose visibility because they are bad. They lose it because they are vague. What do you do? Who are you, etc. There is that vagueness that's associated with it. What are your thoughts? What is this vagueness doing here?
See, if we take an analogy of hunting, or we take it from Mahabharata, uh,
Right.
I have a choice to hit the fish, or I have a choice to hit fish's eye.
Oh, wow. Hmm.
End result is same. You get the fish. It is it is it is that vagueness of hitting the fish, and it is the power of focus of doing what you want and doing what is required is hitting the fish's eye.
Yes. Wow. Pity and to the point. What are you aiming for? The fish or the eye of the fish? And therein lies everything to do with segmentation. But Vijay, as a co-founder of Saaf Foods, and also you continue to mentor and speak to a lot of entrepreneurs and leaders, why do people not segment even though they know they need to do it? Why? What's stopping them?
The today's terminology calls it FOMO, fear of missing out.
Yeah,
Uh, and earlier, FOMO had another version or a cousin brother, which was called as doing everything.
right.
So I think that's where the drive inside of doing everything, drive inside of missing out on few things, is a inherent detrimental factor which stops us as founders to go and hear what we want to do, as from a gut feel point of view, from
Right.
statistics point of view, or from sheer consumer feedback point of view.
That's brilliant. Why do people not ask? Is it because they believe or don't believe in the world of market research that I will tell what the customer needs to do? Or the diffusion that everyone is my customer? What prevents people from going out and facing the truth, Vijay?
So it is the at times it is more inside out, which says that I feel I have experienced a problem in my personal life, and
Right,
people like me in this world are also facing the same problem,
right.
and then you provide a solution which is very customized for you as a customer, and then you present it to the world.
Yeah,
So that's one way of looking at it. Second way of looking at it is that what I feel, there are many people who have similar problems. So you are trying
right,
to address to similar problems with similar solutions, not the solution for the problem.
right.
And that's where somewhere there's a internal war of choosing battles between the two battles. And yeah, I mean, we as founders are very discovery oriented.
I'm at this point going to dwell on a conversation that we had about 2 weeks ago when we met in Bombay.
Yeah.
Your pet peeve, which I'm relating to our topic today,
Uh,
when founders come to you for a solution and
uh.
ask you, "Iska kuch karo," do something. What can I do? Please tell us a bit more about that pain point of yours and where that comes from.
I mean, uh, in fact, there was a session with two founders this morning itself, and uh, it came out something like this, which we had discussed the other day. Uh, इसका कुछ solution चाहिए, इसका कुछ करना है.
Ah,
Now, what is इसका? What is कुछ? So, इसका is basically a question, which
right,
oh, there is a problem, but I don't know how to say it.
right.
Or I feel there are 10 questions which is qualifying for that ISCA, and there are 20 solutions कि कुछ के अंदर. I mean, it's a very dynamic question with a simple framework, as we said. इसका कुछ करना है is the starting point of most of the uh, founders, wherein we are into the discovery mode, and all of us, I think, go through that journey.
Yes, yes.
If today or eventually we are at that crossroads wherein we feel that there is something missing. I don't know what is that missing. Somebody has to come and articulate it for me. And most of the time, we intervene there and we put the finger on the problem and say, "Hey, look, it's not the fish that you have built; it's the fish I you have built."
Ah, beautifully connected. But there is a cost of saying this. No, for entrepreneurs, for leaders, the more vague you are, the more you try to fool that I don't want to limit myself. I'm for everyone. Especially when it comes to segmentation, there is a cost. Who pays this cost?
See, everything what we do, let's say we create a brand, we provide a solution, or we create institutions, corporates, companies. It is ultimately we are doing that for the consumer.
Mhm.
And if at all we have a solution which we struggle to present it the way it should have been, in my view, it's the consumer who is losing it more than the founder.
Beautifully put. Yeah. So,
Because consumers are so looking for the solution. Just because I couldn't search it with a simple, convenient keyword, I missed the solution. I remained dissatisfied. So the
mm,
real cost of uh, uh, not so well presented product is paid by the consumer.
ah, I was, when I framed the question, I was expecting a monetary answer, but you've gone way beyond that, Vijay, because end of the day, we are there for the consumers. And if we do not do our homework, we are cheating them out of a solution that they need at the moment. Beautiful.
Yeah, because today or tomorrow we move on. We realize, ठीक है, ये नहीं हुआ, maybe I'll try something else.
Right.
That need is still unanswered. That remain dissatisfied.
Ah. So, Vijay, if you had one ruthless segmentation question a person should ask themselves today, be it an entrepreneur, a leader, or a career focused individual, what would that ruthless question be?
So, one question which I generally ask whenever I'm in and around founders and in those environments where these kind of conversations are free flowing is, what is the difference between a customer and a consumer?
Beautiful.
Invariably, we want the consumer, but we do the customer.
Oh, elaborate on that. What a beautiful, beautiful, simple way to put it.
For example, if I'll take an example from our brand. When we launched
Yes.
Sao Foods, we had these small packs which are just about covering required for the product inside, and not typical FMCG way of having a bigger pack and there's a quantity inside.
Right. Right.
The technical reason for to do it also because the nitrogen, food grade nitrogen around it keeps it fresh, and secondly it helps in not breaking in the transit. But however consumer perceives it that मेरे को तो हवा भर के दिया,
Ah.
right? Uh, Whereas when we did that, we focused it on consumer. We said our consumer is saying, you are giving me this much product, you are giving covering it with this much,
Right.
not this much.
Right.
And while when we went to the customer, which is the retailer, the distributor, the first reaction was, your product will never be seen. You
Yeah.
have to show this and give this so that the consumer feels that I got more than I
Ah,
thought. But just that consumer is not defining it clearly and saying it, that doesn't mean she's happy about it or she's okay with it. In return, Sao Foods got the feedback. I trust this brand more because
nice.
they show that what they give is same.
Beautiful. In fact, I also remember a conversation you said when a lot of people said, "Why aren't you selling? Why isn't South Foods in planes?" You had a brilliant answer. Would you like to share that here, Vijay?
Yeah, that's in fact my favorite because it connects very beautifully to my dear my topic which I really love and which we are discussing today is segmentation. Uh, so we marketeers have these lingos of India, Bharat.
Yes.
We create these jargons around it
Yeah.
to make our own selves happy and feel good about it. So way India is being structured as that India one, India two, which is the power of that common woman and man. It's about 100 crore people which are looking
Right.
for. Uh, uh, Somebody told us that just because you're so convenient and your products are very friendly as well, and this in airports, in airlines, they sell it very expensive. Why don't you approach them? So our answer was India travels by air, Bharat travels by rail.
Beautiful. Hmm.
It's the same sale that I will get. It's the same fish which I will get, but I want to hit the eye of the fish.
Yeah.
By serving the consumers that this brand is meant for as a primary consumer, which is Bharat. Secondary consumer is India. Therefore, it's okay not to be there at airline, but it
Okay.
is not okay to be not present at railways.
Beautiful. Absolute clarity. And thank you for giving that example. So, us entrepreneurs and all those listening can also figure out how to differentiate between all the fish, and the eye of the fish. And at this point, Vijay, we've seen several brands, we've seen or heard of people where on paper they look really good. When you, for example, check out a LinkedIn profile or see an advertisement, but they are completely forgettable in the marketplace. What could have gone wrong? What is it that I can do to correct it if I am forgettable?
So let's talk about an industry first. In that
Right.
case, most of our airline industries players have been struggling, and we saw two
Yes.
large players just getting out of the business from nowhere. So very fancy business to be in, flying high, the works. But we know there is a challenge of capex, there is a challenge of debt, there is a challenge of
Yes.
commodity, because and everything boils down on the oil and the dependency on that particular commodity. So that's one airline which looks extremely fancy, extremely aspirational, extremely wanting to do kind of a.
Right.
But when the rubber meets the road, yeah, I mean we've seen the results. What happened to some of them. That's one thing from an industry point of view. Now you said brands. Let's say Nano.
Hmm.
I mean, moment it was introduced as a thought, we said, boy, there's a revolution coming.
Absolutely.
And the very thought of, very noble thought of great Mr. Tata to change impact the life of the common man on the streets from a safety point of view was very heartwarming.
Right.
But the very consumer behavior, the very same segment of people who were traveling on a bike with wife and two children on a bike, which gave him a thought that I should solve this problem. They were actually looking for aspirations in car and not a solution which states that they can't afford a car.
Ah,
So it was poor versus affordable kind of a
right.
competition.
Ah,
So it just made them feel a little poorer, and that's
Oh, man. Yeah. What a way to think. Yes, absolutely. Now that you put it this way, Vijay, it makes things easy. I'm better off driving a bike than uh, having that perception, because we still live in the what will other people say, log kya kahenge, what will people around me think, and that defines who I am. Which leads me to the next question. Is segmentation actually a courage test? Are the really bold and successful entrepreneurs putting segmentation in the middle and center as a clear marketing exercise as a foundation? So, is it a courage test for the entrepreneurs or leaders of today?
I think Praveen, it is other way around.
Hmm?
Not segmenting is a courage test.
Ah, wow, going in blind.
Yeah. Let's look at it. We all know how did Amazon start. What was the first
Yes,
product that Amazon used to sell?
books, just books.
Right. They got that success. They understood that there's a consumer behavior who's looking for solutions. They said, let us not segment to books. Let's bring the world of products to Amazon and
Hmm.
sell it. But it takes a lot of courage
It
to do
does,
that.
yeah.
And you don't have one dozen Amazons in the world.
We have one, and then we have another one who pretty much did a copy paste very nicely. So we have the Amazon and Flipkarts. But at the beginning, from a focus
I'll,
perspective, they just sold books and built the huge customer base, and then figured out what else can I sell to these people. That brings me to one final question here, which is whether it is an individual or a corporate brand level, customer or a consumer, as you put it, what is the emotional resistance people have internally? Why do I stop segmenting when I know, now that I've realized segmentation is important, but still I get caught in the business as usual? Or what is my problem? What is my resistance? How do I stop everything I'm doing and start segmenting first?
so there's a favorite analogy I have here on particular this question for segmentation. Imagine a roti, one single roti, and imagine there are 10 people to feed, 10 mouths to feed.
Right,
Now there are two school of thoughts here. First school of thought is one divided into 10 pieces,
right.
give it given to 10 mouths, all 10 hungry. The other school
True.
of thought is one roti, one mouth, one satisfied soul.
Beautiful.
Now it's our internal own drives, our internal own evaluation methods evaluates these two thought processes.
Yes,
I was fair by giving one piece to everybody, and I'm okay that they were. Unfortunately, I couldn't let them go satisfied. The other
right,
school of thought says that what, of the 10, at least one life I impact.
right.
So these internal uh, thought processes or internal evaluation methods is what keeps us in that dilemma of what is right and what is not right.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And to me, and I'm going to do a reverse because I love taking notes every time I meet you, Vijay. Your roti analogy is also the return on time investment for the 20 minutes that I have invested with you, which is brilliant. And I belong to the school of thought ki bhai, give that one roti to one individual, let that individual be not so hungry, satisfied, happy, and carry on. And I will, hopefully, the God will give me enough strength to make another roti to make another person. That leads me to who am I for? Am I for India? Am I for Bharat? Am I for the customer? Am I for the consumer? I need clarity on that. इसका कुछ करना है. Hey, can you do something about this? What is something? What is this? Which is where segmentation begins. And so simply put, that it doesn't have to be complicated marketing jargon. It can even be, do I have clarity in my phrasing, in my putting things across? FOMO and the cousin brother of do everything. Can I look inside out and take things and bringing it back together to your start of being the Arjuna of today? Not all the fish, not the fish, but the eye of the fish that I'm looking at aiming is the crux of our segmentation exercise. Vijay, thank you very much for investing your 20 minutes in charging all of us,
Thank
myself
you.
included. So thank you, Vijay.
Thank you, Praveen. Thank you. It's a pleasure.
For
Thank
the
you.
rest of the folks, you can reach out to Dr. Vijay Bijlani on LinkedIn. Ask him any questions you need on segmentation, entrepreneurship, the mix with academia, and of course about his company that he has co-founded called Sao Foods. So thank you, Vijay. Thank you, all of you. See you next Wednesday at 3 p.m. again. Thank you,
Thank you.
Vijay.
Thank you, Praveen.